Hello friends, it's Ric Beattie. I'm the senior minister here at Unity of Royal Oak in Royal Oak, Michigan. We're in inner ring suburb to Detroit in Oakland County here. And it's an honor for me always to share some thoughts with you, some ideas, and a brief meditation. It's kind of a midweek opportunity to hit the pause button, the reset button. So I know when I get to Wednesday, I usually need to do a little something to catch my breath. And you can come and check the meditation out any day, because once they're out there, we leave them up, we post them. And I often start with a reading from Daily Word that is published by Unity, and I'm a Unity minister. But today I want to share with you some ideas from a book that I love. It's called Martha's Pearls. And it was written by my dear friend and mentor, and is she tormentor, teacher. This is the woman I think of as my pastor. And they're just a number of short stories that have wonderful wisdom in Martha's own way. There's about 40 of them, maybe 39. But it's called Martha's Pearls. You can get it on Amazon. It's a lot of fun. I like it because you can pick it up and read a couple pages and get something out of it that you can keep with you, that's alive in you. Almost like a parable. That's why the master teacher used parables, because nobody had a cell phone or access to streaming devices or any of that stuff. It was what could you take in that would be alive in you, that might make a difference, that might help you come to some thought, some idea that you've never had before. And I opened up to, interestingly enough, to this chapter on fearlessness. It's chapter 18. And I actually opened up into the chapter a little bit, and I read, the very first thing I read was this: I love Independence Day. It is a reminder to me to let freedom ring, and that I am no longer a hostage to fear. Step by step, we can liberate ourselves from any FEAR. And then she says, false evidence appearing real, and I've heard that many times. What scary things are you willing to overcome or to push the limits of? I hold the freedom possibility for me and for you as reality. May we all discover the hero treasures inside ourselves. So this past Sunday I shared a message called Freedom is the Path. And because it was the Sunday closest to 4th of July, right? 4th of July was this past Monday. And I was just touched when I picked this up today. I wish I'd picked it up like last week, as I would have included her quote, but it was so very similar to what I shared, the stuff that I shared, and it really validated for me that I was on the right path. And I shared this concept that I learned long ago from one of my ministers, Reverend Sandy Scott. And she said, we're stuck between PP and FF. PP is pain of the past, and FF is fear of the future. Have you ever felt yourself in that place, stuck right in the middle between the past and the future? And of course, my talk was about being in this moment. And that's where life's happening. But I want to come back to what Martha wrote. So, fearlessness, a couple of things. She says, my mother, well, first of all, she says, imagine being free of seeking love, approval, appreciation, and acknowledgement. Imagine being free indeed. Imagine. How often I have found that I get caught in a place of, and anymore I'm not really aware of it until I usually, it falls on my head or something, a big aha. It's like, Rick, you're seeking approval here. Just stand in your own power. Or seeking something from someone. No one outside of me has what I have inside of me. And that's true for you too, because I have the full power of God available to me and me. And I know that that sounds like a tall order. But but God has shared God's own nature. And God is energy. God is the energy of the universe. And that's how I think of God. There are many, many ways to think of the divine presence, many words for it, many names. You find your own way. You have to find what works for you. And what works for me has evolved over the years. It'll probably evolve more. I'm not done yet. So anyway, imagine being free of seeking love, approval, appreciation, and acknowledgement. What could we accomplish if we just didn't mind what anybody else thought about us? What could we accomplish? I think about that question a lot. Then Martha writes, my mother is deathly afraid of snakes, according to her. And according to the fact that she jumped out of a boat in a river one time because a small, according to my dad, snake fell into the boat from a tree. She caught her leg on the boat, tore the ligaments in the leg, and was on crutches for a week. When frightened, now here's the nugget, when frightened, we regress into the smallest part of our brain, the reptilian brain, scientifically the amygdala. And Martha writes, where we have a very limited repertoire of responses, namely fight, flight, or freeze. What do you do when you're backed up in the corner, backed up against the wall? And life will have a tendency to present things that seem like they're backing you up against the wall or seem like they're designed to hurt or feel bad. It's not the truth. It's just the next thing that's happening in your life. But what things catch you? Because as you probably know, if you've ever heard me speak or teach before, I'm pretty down to earth, just a guy. I'm just a guy who is navigating life in the presence of what we call God as consciously as I can. I make a ton of mistakes, and I probably always will, because who knew? I'm human, right? You're human too. You make mistakes. It's part of the journey. We learn from our mistakes. Now, hopefully we learn from our mistakes. We get to repeat them over and over and over again. I've repeated enough of them to know that I don't want to do that anymore. So I believe that this teaching that we shared, that unity is about, that Martha is about learning to be aware that we have the power to choose, and we can choose again. We can change our mind, and that our minds are powerful, and our feelings are powerful, and the Spirit of God in us, the I am, the Christ, whatever you call it, will give you the courage and the energy and the guidance and the wisdom and the love, the imagination, understanding and willingness to accomplish great things if you'll guide yourself or let yourself be guided by Spirit. So I invite you to just consider, what is it, where are you choosing to be fearless right now? Where can you be fearless in your life? I'd love to hear from you. Ric, R-I-C, at unityofroyaloak.org. You can also visit our website at unityofroyaloak.org. If you feel guided to make a contribution, we so appreciate the many, many ways that people contribute to this work. And our work is literally sharing principles and practices that can change your life, but only if you work with them. You've got to live them. We have 5 basic principles, and the 5th one is it's not enough to know the truth, right? We can have it all up in our minds, all the intellectual knowledge we have. If we're not applying those, we're not living them, we're not accomplishing anything. So we also share, this is going to now become a brief meditation, and I'm going to put some music on, and it happens to be it's called the Heart of Oneness, music for meditation, and it was composed and played by and recorded by, long ago, Gregory Barrette, one of my ministers. And I use it with his permission. So I invite you to get centered and settled in your chair like I am, or on a yoga mat, or in your recliner. Maybe you're lounging, taking a nap. And it's all right to fall asleep when you meditate, right? Sometimes intentionally do it. And then I love to come out of that and go, oh, I was meditating, and move right back into it. So, first things first, allow yourself to get centered where you are. Settled in, just for a few minutes. Meditation doesn't have to be dreary. It's just a time to turn our attention away from the world around us and to turn our attention to the inner world, right? On Martha's book, she's got this saying that I've heard many times, go within or go without. Go within. Go within, beyond the noise, beyond this world of illusion that seems to swirl around us. Go within to the source of life, to the energy of life presenting itself in and through each of us. And I invite you to scan your body, see if you're holding any tension anywhere, any stress in you. These are interesting times, full of wonderful opportunities and really tough stuff to deal with. Here it is, all of it. So just scan your body, and if you encounter any stress, just notice it there and invite it to depart, to leave, to drain away. And it will. And it will. We human beings are amazingly resilient if you think about it. And I often ask people when they come to me with really big problems, have you ever had something you didn't get through? No. You may be going through it right now. But one of the advantages of being 66 years old is I've been through a lot of stuff. I have some history now. I know that I can climb mountains when I need to. I may not do so well with physical mountains anymore, but the emotional stuff, the growth stuff, stuff in my family, stuff in our community here at Unity of Royal Oak, I've learned some things, and you have too in your life. So draw on your life's knowledge. All right. So you've scanned your body, you've released stress. Get comfortable where you're sitting. If you need a cough drop like I do today for some reason, I've got a scratch in my throat. I've got one handy. I'm going to invite you to bring your attention to your breath. Just notice it. Notice as you breathe. Notice as you breathe in and out. Your breath has its own rhythm. It does its thing. You don't have to force it. And you can only hold it back for a hot second. It just comes. Allow it to come the way it's intending to. Let's take some really deep breaths together. They tend to stimulate a nerve that runs through our lungs and in our bodies called the vagus, V-A-G-U-S nerve. That stimulates us to relax. That's why it's always a good idea, just when you're feeling tense, take a deep breath, and let's do that now. And sigh it out. And another deep breath in. And sigh it out. Another deep breath inward. And sigh it out. Right where you are, my friend, in this moment, God is with you. Allow yourself to consider where is your center as a being. And with the next breath, allow yourself to flow inward, your awareness to move with the breath to that place that you consider your center. You can meditate with your eyes wide open, with them closed, softly closed, focused, whatever works for you. If you should hear any noise or you should become distracted, if your mind wanders off, Just notice it, and don't beat yourself up about it. Just notice it, follow, and then bring your attention back to your breath, and follow the next breath inward. And reestablish your peace, the very peace of God. And we'll spend a few minutes here, and then we'll have a prayer. And with your next breath, follow it inward a little bit deeper. Noticing with each breath you relax a little bit more. And you notice that the stress, the tension that might be in your neck or your shoulders and your upper arms is just draining away. As you move into this place of flow, a place of beingness, being with God. So again, if any noise disturbs you, or your mind wanders off, just bring it gently back to your breath and follow your next breath inward. And at this time, I'm going to invite you to call to mind your own prayer request or a friend who's asked you to pray about something. Perhaps it's a world situation, the earthquake in Afghanistan, or the ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia, or any other hotspot around our planet, the water situation in the western U.S. Whatever place that you would like to beam some love energy to, because love is one of our innate powers. It's part of who we are. It's how we navigate this complex world. Love is the power that holds things together. I think of it like gravity. So hold an image in your mind and hold the circumstance of the person or the procedure, the healing, the journey. Gracious and loving God, we give thanks for your energy which you share with us, which you pour through us. We give thanks that we can be fearless in the face of things that have challenged us. We can press on and press ahead and move through it. We don't have to be stopped by life's circumstances and situations. We are resilient, powerful, loving, peaceful, imaginative people. We bless what each one is holding in mind and heart. We bless the prayer requests that are in our prayer box. We bless the ones that we just sent on their way to Silent Unity. And we give thanks for this faith that teaches us that God, it's your good pleasure to give us the kingdom. For this we give thanks as we let it be. And friend, if you are new to unity, new to this way of thinking, I would love to share some ideas with you or encourage you to connect with you. Email me, ric@unityofroyaloak.org. And again, our website tell you about everything that's going on here, both that's happening online, virtually, and in person. And we do hybrid when we can. Whatever you're doing today or tonight or whenever you're experiencing this meditation, know that the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever you are, friend, God is. Wherever I am, God is. All is well. Make it an awesome day for yourself. Namaste.